What's good, ladies and gentlemen? I am your humble host, Dave Smith, Pretty Boy Smitty, Protocol Paul, Pearl Game, Ultra Smith Dog Trill, all of the above on the ISAT test ACT. You know what it is. And we are back for our 16th rant, ladies and gentlemen. Man, we already been through 15 of these suckers and on our 16th one. That's amazing. I didn't do a rant on Sunday. I know you guys have become pretty spoiled and used to my Sunday rants, but this past week, I had to do some fantasy football stuff, so I hope you guys appreciate that. I hope you guys understand that as well. But, I mean, everything I pretty much predicted what happened this week, I feel like I keep saying this shit, but it happened. I thought Raven would be the HOH to target Kevin and Jason, but it ended up being Christmas. I mean, in reality, it's the same. It's a different formula, but the same, it equals the same answer, the same quotient. So I'm looking at this game right now, and it is most likely, okay, we can pretty much guarantee this is worse than the fourth worst season ever. This is worse than the fourth worst season, okay? At one point, I was willing to say this was tied with 15, but you know what? 15, even though it was terrible, there were some people towards the end, like Judd, who I felt like we were rooting for, right? Weren't people rooting for Judd more than they're rooting for Kevin now? I really believe, there's no one. That's why I call this episode 7 Psychopaths. There is legitimately no one after Jason goes this week. Well, not really Jason. I consider Jason one of the psychopaths. I consider Kevin the one that's not one of the psychopaths. But he chose to align with 7 other psychopaths. So what does that really say about Kevin's game? And what does that say about Kevin himself? And this is why they picked Kevin, because they knew he wouldn't be an early boot. On top of that, because he has kids that watch the show. But at the same time, they knew he didn't give a fuck about this shit enough to truly apply himself strategically. We're going to get into a lot of stuff. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. We're going to get into a lot of different things in this episode. A lot of things that I feel like people are discussing, but they're not going to discuss it in the RBR way. I took a nice little week off damn near, so I feel like everyone is fresh. They're ready to hear these hot takes, and we could jump in them, why don't we? So let me start this off with what happened as farthest away from my last rant as possible, or as close to my last rant as possible. I mean, as far away from this rant as possible. Spencer B. Clausen, the guy who was part of one of the worst seasons of all time, the guy who enabled a lot of racism, but everybody swears by him. Oh, he's so educated. Oh, he lost his job. Well, that's his fucking fault. That's not my fault. But everyone is giving Spencer credit for being intelligent. Well, if he was this fucking intelligent, how did he go from a majority of moving company alliance to being a professional pawn in his season? I don't think that makes you very intelligent. I just think he was grasping, trying to hold on as long as he could. And he figured out, if I'm the pawn, everyone will keep me in the game. That doesn't make him a smart guy. It doesn't make him a smart player. Now, I've seen him on the Block Network. I've seen him talk that shit. I know the brother's intelligent. I know he's intelligent. But at the same time, for him to go on Twitter and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you guys missed my season now, don't you? Like, whoa, bro, whoa. Nobody misses your fucking season, my dude. Nobody misses shit about your season. Matter of fact, this season made us remember your season, motherfucker. That whole Dom situation gave me a whole bunch of slavery flashbacks. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here like, oh, hell no, not another season of this racist bullshit. And the fact that I was talking about how they do not pick straight black men for this show, and it happens right before they choose to single out a black woman, it just vindicated me. But there's a reason for everything that Big Brother does. They chose Howard for 15. They didn't give us a Howard this season. They gave us a buffoon like Josh. Okay? So I'm trying to give y'all an idea of they care more about entertainment than they do about equal representation, right? But with Spencer, I mean, bro, maybe he did this on purpose because he's become quite irrelevant over the years. I mean, if you take the McCray and Spencer thing that they had going on, and then you had the Survivor, all the fix and shit, that entire network. If you take away all the things that was going down with that network, if you take that out of the way post-game, Spencer's really hasn't done shit after the game has ended in BB15. but he parades himself around like some dude who's like a genius of the game just because he was Final 3. My G, you was a genius because all of the good players took themselves out in your season, not because you actually initiated some type of a move to get out those great players. He was just a number. He was just a tag along for all of those moves, you know. But at the end of the day, who wouldn't want to sit next to Gina Marie over you, Spencer? So don't get your shit in a bunch thinking because this season is trash, it all of a sudden makes your season great by comparison. It doesn't. Both of your seasons are garbage, okay? And I went from saying this was the 4th worst season. I am willing to say now, based off of the past 3 weeks in this house, man, I swear like the last 3 weeks, man, it's been zombie. Like, I turn on the live feeds, I cringe, I cut it off. You know, I canceled the live feeds. Y'all heard me talk about cancel the feeds in my second rant, right? I've canceled the live feeds 4 times already. How the fuck can someone cancel the feeds 4 times? I've canceled them 4 times. I tried to keep them for the sake of the rant. Then I had people tell me, you don't even need them, man. All these channels and shit like that, you could keep getting woo. So I canceled it that time, and I kept getting it back just to cancel it again. Now I'm done, bro. I'm done. No more of these feeds, no more shit. You know how many motherfuckers, bro, I'm listening to Dick at Night. I'm listening to Big Brother Gossip. I'm listening to all these different avenues for Big Brother talk, and all of them say the same thing I've been saying for the past like 4 rants. If it wasn't for y'all, if it wasn't for our fan bases, our respective fan bases, we all would have gave up on this shit. And you got people who are fully invested in the CBS brand that want to give up on this shit. And newsflash, ladies and gentlemen, I just found out from a reliable source that there's not going to be a OTT2. CBS, they want this season to be over, and they want a year-long break. They want to get away and disappear for a while because they know they've been fucking up, okay? And if they truly do take a year break, then that means there's even more pressure on BB20 to be great. I think, on the contrary, the easiest way to help us forget about this shitty-ass BB19 season is to have an OTT2 right after. Give us something fresh. Give us a distraction, okay? It'll definitely help the house guests when they come and start acclimating into the real world again. At least then we'll have some other people to hate on, some new faces to hate on, instead of just keep hating on them. Because mark my words, if there is no OTT2, these house guests in this season, they're going to be treated like dog shit throughout the entire fall, okay? So y'all need OTT2 to save your own fucking ass here. And honestly, that's the only reason why I kept getting the feeds over and over again. I kept telling myself, well, if OTT2 is coming anyway, I might as well keep it to stay in the groove of watching feeds, shit like that. But at the end of the day, OTT2 is conducted completely differently. But all in all, the beginning of this rant, I just want to go ahead and tell Spencer, shut your dumb ass up, okay? Because your ass wasn't a good player. Your season was probably, in my opinion, bottom 4, but I'm willing to say this season's bottom 3. So just because you're 1 spot away, you know, it's really interchangeable. It's really semantics at this point, apples and oranges. But at the end of the day, tomato, I mean, not apples and oranges. But at the end of the day, though, bro, your season was trash too. This ain't the time to stick your chest out, right? Like I said, this like Josh going up to Raven and saying, you have no chance to win the game. Like, oh, tell me about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck out of here. But I just wanted to address that shit on the opening because, man, a lot of former house guests, they getting out of body right now. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they wish they had a second chance and they'll never get one. So the only way they can stay relevant is by talking shit during this season. Like, if you weren't a great player in your season, at least you had the opportunity to showcase if you could play the game. Look, there's super fans all across the world that'll never get a chance to play this fucking game. And it's because they don't meet some archetype or stereotype that these wig heads at CBS want to see on TV to either laugh at or laugh with, okay? There's people like me that will never get put on this show just because we keep it 1,000. We keep it a buck. They want motherfuckers to just do whatever the fuck they tell them to, okay? Like, Paul is running Arkham Asylum right now with 7 psychopaths. That's what's going on right now, okay? I can't even watch the show. I'm sure you can't watch the show. There's people telling me I only watch your rants as well. I just want the updates. So here are the updates, ladies and gentlemen. Christmas wins a Christmas comp that wasn't supposed to be a Christmas comp. How the hell do you have an endurance comp You know, how ironic that as soon as Mark, Cody, all the alpha males leave the fucking house, and the minute Jason's the outgoing HOH, let me also put that there, okay? So all of these perfect scenarios are all out of the way for them to finally showcase a comp that was probably in the plans to be used before they even came up with the Temptation comp. They probably pushed this shit back 4 weeks on purpose, okay? They probably pushed it back. Well, I wouldn't say they pushed it back until Christmas got a cast off, but I think they definitely pushed it back with the mindset of, you know what? Let's try to guarantee the people we want to win will win. And I think this was a competition meant for Raven to actually win and not Christmas. But it just happened to hit Paul in the head and go, let's throw it to Christmas instead. Because she's already won another HOA. She does have some blood on her hands. Why don't I create more and more jury goats to take to the end? So he's using Christmas, and he knows Raven doesn't need a HOH to be a fucking goat. She's a walking goat. So it's smart for Paul to not use Raven in this situation and go ahead and use Christmas. But I just think the entire season, the credibility, the integrity of the season is thrown out the window. I mean, there's more thrown comps in this season than there is competitive ones. So when people like Matt get pissed off, you know, last week at a guy like Jason for not keeping his word, keeping him on the block, and he goes home, but then he decides to eat a whole bunch of food and get a whole bunch of negative votes put on his record because he's going ahead and eating regular food when he should be on slop anyway. You know, my thing is, why are you throwing a temper tantrum if you never cared? You know, now all of a sudden, Matt wants to do something that makes Big Brother history. And this goes back to all my previous rants. Haven't I said that I want to see people make history for positive reasons, not negative ones? This is the season for making history for all the wrong reasons. This is the fucked up season, okay? This is what people are always going to remember this season as, okay? And it really pains me because if we take Paul, and by the way, when we get 1K subscribers, I got something special for y'all. I've been working on it. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's going to be real special. So make sure you guys share this shit, comment, like, you know, I usually don't say this shit at the beginning of the video, halfway through the video, but I need to start saying it throughout the video just in case, because there could be somebody that might not have time to finish it until later, and they might skip this or miss this. So, yeah. So really, we need to get this up. We already at 700 subscribers, ladies and gentlemen. This is a little bit over 2 months. We've got 700 subscribers. This is mind fucking blowing, okay? So in a way, it's a gift and a curse. You know, this season being so bad is the only reason why I've been able to blow up. I truly believe that way because I don't do episode reviews. I don't do shit like that, right? I just go off of, you know what? If I'm feeling like snapping on somebody, I'm just going to do it, right? And if this season was actually good, I wouldn't have to, you know? And people have been telling me, how about you do Survivor Rant? Survivor is such a great product. There's nothing to rant about. You know, nothing to rant about. By the way, Survivor 35, healers, heroes, and healers, and hustlers. That'll be out very soon in the fall. Gonna be a great season, by the way. But back to some Big Brother talk, though. I just want to throw that shit out there, but explain that shit. But the thing that I don't like is, have you guys noticed that production throughout the entire edit, when the Cody contingency was still in the house, basically the Rebel Alliance was in the house. Y'all remember how production went out of their way to hide all of the truth about Raven from the edit? In fact, they tried to give her a sympathy edit to almost rig the second temptation to go to her instead of Christmas. Y'all remember that, right? Okay. Well, then why all of a sudden now do they want to get into all this Raven exposed shit? I'll tell you why. Because during the first half portion of the game, they wanted to protect Raven's reputation to the casual fan because they wanted everyone to have no reason to go against Paul. When I'm talking about go against, I mean vote against, I mean support. I just mean casual fans. They wanted them to be all in with the Paul experience, which includes everyone who was a devout Paul cult member, okay? So they wanted everyone. That includes Raven, Matt, Kevin, Jason, Christmas, Josh. For the most part, all of their edits didn't have a single strand of negativity in it when it was someone else to hate on like Cody and them. And on the same note, they hid all of the negative things that they did towards those same people, but they still showed some negative things about those people who were the true victims. Now, in my last rant, I said this is why I'm incapable of feeling sorry for a guy like Kevin, because at the end of the day, Kevin perpetuated this behavior. He also took part in it when it was convenient. And now all of a sudden, when the numbers are basically against him now, I mean, he would have went home last week if Jason would have just let him go home. But it's like I told y'all, Jason would have went home this week regardless. So, you know, people say, don't give someone an excuse to get rid of you. Well, if they're going to get rid of me anyway, well, why does it fucking matter to me? I'm trying to hit him with a preemptive strike and maybe survive an extra week. You see what I'm saying? But the reason why I say this is now all of a sudden they want to show us the real Raven. They want us to show us the real Raven now because we're getting towards the end of the game, and they want America to look at Raven as a GOAT. They don't want anyone to look at her in the same sympathetic way. Okay, so they want to perceive her the same way we've been perceiving her as the live feeders. Now all of a sudden it's okay to look at her that way because there's no real threat to knock out Paul at the end, to beat him head to head. Okay. And I'm hearing people coming up to me telling me, oh, Josh he's really woke, Dave. He is really talking to Christmas about strategy and about how he's on to what Paul's doing. Here's my thing, ladies and gentlemen. Here's my thing. Why do I give a fuck if Josh, Mr. Buffoon himself, is starting to understand Paul's game? Why should I care about this? Oh, because Dave, he could orchestrate a blindside in the Final Four or Final Three. Honestly, this is going to sound crazy, but Paul is the only person who deserves to win the game at this point. I mean, I've spent all of about 2 months rooting against the man, okay? So don't think I'm rooting for him to win. But at the same time, though, people always say, when it comes down to the end of the game, people want to vote for the person who reflects what their season was about the best. And sorry, Josh isn't that, okay? Josh's top 5 moments in this house have all been manipulated by Paul, you know? So it's like he's a terrible winner. He's a terrible ambassador for the show. The dude is just terrible. And I've had people tell me, well, you want Cody and Jessica to come back, and you don't want Josh to even win the game if it means we get a great moment of Paul going home? No, because at the end of the day, I told y'all who my Final Four pick was on July 13th, didn't I? Has it changed? No. Okay? The last thing I want to see is Josh, Christmas, and Raven in the Final 3. I guarantee y'all right now, what little ratings that y'all think CBS is getting right now with this shitty ass, remainder of the shitty ass cast, the 7 Psychopaths and the Friendship Code, what y'all think might be the remnants of a little bit of ratings drop, it's going to really drop for finale night if motherfuckers find out Paul's not there. Think about all the people that they've been indoctrinating Paul is the second coming of Jesus Christ himself. Think about all those casual fans that's going to click off that damn TV if they don't see Paul there. Big Brother is not going to allow Josh to cut Paul, okay? And Josh is not intelligent enough to win a Final 3 mental comp against Paul. Remember, Paul was the guy who beat Nicole. And a lot of people forget this shit because Nicole, in the last season, people forget this shit because Nicole was participating in a lot of cock battles, if you will. She was doing a lot of fornication, if you will, last season. So a lot of people forget. In Nicole's original season, she was casted to be a female Ian. She was casted to be a female nerd. Okay, that was her archetype. That's why she always wears the damn little glasses and shit. That's what she was meant to be. Okay, so the fact that Paul outfoxed her in a Final 3 HOH when she was the vet that season lets me know that now Paul is the vet this season. He's not going to get outfoxed at all. Okay. At least in a Final 3 HOH scenario, okay? Now, I just don't see why. Okay, if you're a Josh fan, I can see why you would want this outcome. But if you're not a Josh fan, if you have been an RBR family member, if you have been down with these rants from the beginning, personally, I do not see how you can want this season to end with a Josh victory. No. We should not reward this motherfucker for seeing the light after everyone else is gone. No, in my opinion, that ain't no different than what Kevin's fucking doing. The difference is Josh has Christmas in his pocket. So now he's speaking his mind to Christmas. Kevin was speaking his mind to Jason, and Jason wasn't buying it, just like Christmas isn't buying it. Okay. So it's really the same fucking situation. But for whatever reason, Josh is getting so much credit as if he's the first person to figure out Paul's game. The only difference is Kevin has moments of figuring it out. Then he reverts back to trusting Paul again. But Josh does that too, though. He'll talk all this shit about not trusting Paul, and then he'll fucking gargle this man's sperm the next day. It's like, man, fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here. Now, I do want to say, even though I do not like Josh as a player, as a person, I think he's pretty cool, and I would like to wish his family, anyone in the Florida area, I would like to wish all of you the utmost safety in this time with the Hurricane Irma and all that thing. So Recency Bias Radio would like to offer tons of emotional, spiritual support to all of you. I hope you guys can evacuate safely, get all of your belongings out of there, anything that's important, family heirlooms, the whole nine. And I hope you all can remain safe. That includes Josh's family, who are Miami natives, the whole nine. But even though I can say that, I can still look at this strictly from a game perspective and say, no, I will not be satisfied with a Josh victory. Sorry. Okay. Cody went through all this shit to see Josh win. Fuck out of here. Dom went through all this shit for Josh to win. Now, I know what y'all think. Well, hold up. Josh had Dom's back, though. I'm sure she wouldn't have a problem with that. True. But no, man, there's too many intelligent people that came through this house to reward the dumbest motherfucker with $500K. I just, nah, bro. I can't, bro. Nah, bro. You know, and it's crazy because everyone talks about this. If you take Paul out of this season and keep everything else the same, this season might be top 5 best. You put Paul and put him in a season that could be top 5 best, it becomes top 5 worst. You feel me? Just one little thing can ruin something. Okay. It's like, story time. This reminds me of back in the day when my homeboy Michi, he had this birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese and he had 2 baby mamas. Okay. So the birthday party's for his baby girl, his first girl. Okay. His oldest. And she was like maybe like 4 years old or something like that. And then his youngest is like 2 or something. And we up there, we enjoying ourselves. But both baby mamas, they gotta be civil with one another. And it creates an awkward aura, even in a place like Chuck E. Cheese where everybody's supposed to be happy. And that's the reason why places like Chuck E. Cheese sell wine, sell beer to the parents, because they know there's a lot of complicated shit going on. For the sake of the kids to be around both of their parents, people are just, you know what I'm saying, they're chalking their pride at the door, and they're just coming in and just trying to, for the kids' sake, they're trying to be a civil union and whatnot. You know, the reason why I brought this shit up is because it's very similar to this game, man. It's just a whole bunch of motherfuckers grandstanding and trying to keep their reputation at a certain level, but they forget that they're being recorded nonstop. And when you constantly forget you're being recorded, you say fucked up shit. You know, you got Alex saying crazy shit, talking about, like I said, that Kevin's a child molester. You got Jason. I don't even know what would prompt Jason to even want to say this, but all of a sudden now he's a rapist. He wants to rape Kevin's family. He wants to rape a whole bunch of senior citizens in a nursery home. You know, these are the 7 psychopaths, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? No way in hell these 7 passed the psych test. Maybe Paul did. But I don't think the other 6, I don't think it's physically possible. Okay. And it's driving me crazy because I'm willing to bet Christmas didn't go through this audition period, this audition process. I'm willing to guarantee she didn't. I'm willing to guarantee Raven didn't really go through it either because she knew Paul. So that means 2 people, 2 huge pillars in Paul's alliance. Most likely 1/2 of Paul's final 4. Okay. Including himself, 1/2. You know, most likely both of them were selected and didn't even have to jump through the same hoops to get there. They don't even value this opportunity the same way as everyone else, you know? And it just pisses me the fuck off. And it pisses you the fuck off, you know? And Kevin, he warns Jason he's the target. Jason's dumbass goes up to Paul and Alex and says, man, I'm nervous. What the fuck are you going up to them 2 for and letting them know you're nervous? And see, here's the funniest thing. Everyone thinks this Thursday is going to be so great because Jason's going to go home and Alex is going to be pissed off, most likely with Christmas, because everyone made it seem as if Kevin was going home. But in Christmas nomination ceremony, she said she was trying to target a strong competitor. Kevin is not that. So I don't see a scenario where Alex is truly that pissed at Christmas. The only way I can see her being that pissed off at Christmas is if Paul tries to make her that pissed off at Christmas. You know, he tries to basically use the same type of reverse psychology he used on Raven to get her to turn on Jason. Like, hey, you know, he's the one who put him in harm's way, though. You know what I mean? He didn't have to put both of y'all up. I mean, she didn't have to put both of y'all up to start off the week. She could have easily sat you next to Kevin. You know what I mean? You know, a whole nine. But then again, if Jason wins veto, he takes Kevin off, and all of a sudden Alex is in there. Well, no, he would have saved Alex before Kevin. I truly believe that. The motherfucker's too pussy whipped. And that's what I understand. Alex is in love with Paul. Paul is in love with himself. Jason's in love with Alex. Like, this is a weird-ass love triangle going on. I just don't understand it at all. But, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. But I wanted to get into this America's favorite player voting thing. This was like a huge thing that I wanted to discuss, mainly because the majority of the fan base right now was all turning towards one direction. We know what that direction is. Everyone wants to vote for Kevin just because he's being treated badly. Man, look, Kevin has already told Jason, this happened yesterday. Kevin already told Jason that he is strongly considering self-evicting on Thursday before the live eviction even fucking happens. Or maybe it's during the live eviction fucking happens. And Jason is so fucking stupid, he doesn't know that he's the real target, so he's trying to talk Kevin out of trying to self-evict. No, man, go out with honor. Motherfucker, if that's me, I'm like, yeah, bro, you should self-evict right now, coach. Fuck the bullshit. You know, just in case. You know the scenes that will go down if Kevin tries to self-evict and Jason's like, no, man, don't do it, man. Just wait for the vote. Then Jason gets his ass sent out the fucking door? Can y'all imagine the fucking scenes? But hey, man. That's the guy y'all want to vote AFP for, huh? The guy that wants to quit. That's the guy, huh? The guy who wants to bring all his belongings to the DR so they can hide him. That's the guy y'all want to win America's favorite player. A guy who grew up with money, most likely, if his pops was really selling dope like that. A guy whose entire catalog of clothes make him look well off. I mean, a guy that has 33 racks already on deck. This is the guy y'all want to reward with another 25? I'm just not understanding the philosophy of we should reward Kevin because he was treated badly. What about all the other motherfuckers who was treated badly? See, this is one of those ironic situations where all of you are suffering from more recency bias than me, recency bias radio himself. How the hell can you compartmentalize and make sense out of voting Kevin for AFP? What the fuck has Kevin done? Like, really, what has Kevin done? I saw somebody post a tweet talking about, we need to vote Kevin for AFP because he has tried hard at every comp. Participation trophies in this bitch. He's tried to change his strategy, but it hasn't worked. He's been treated badly, and it's some other reason. I can't remember, but I basically just summed it up to, you just described Dominique's game. You feel me? You described Dominique's game. Because, see, people want to change the narrative on Kevin and make it seem like Kevin never was okay with these negative insults towards everybody. Kevin was never okay with that. Who was his alliance for fucking 50 days? Like, I'm not going to hang around a whole bunch of racists and suspected rapists for 50 fucking days and then go, when they turn on me, then go, wow, guys, I just want to leave. I want to self-evict now. Hold up. Those are your fucking friends, ain't they? You feel me? Like, the same shit that I was talking about last week, the same shit I was talking about 2 weeks ago, I told y'all. But see, this is why everyone wanted them to turn on each other. Because once they start turning on each other, then we get to see if this is their true personalities. Because everyone wants to make it seem as if, oh, we're treating you like shit because you're going against all of us. So we have to teach you a lesson. Well, the minute they just decide to flip on one of their own who isn't going against them at all, and they have to create the narrative that they have already went against them to make sense out of them going against them, then all of a sudden they act just as fucked up towards that person. But it's like, how am I supposed to have any pity towards the people who are all chipping in on bullying others? I just can't. You know, like Josh, I know business. Like, Josh, the only business is Paul's business, okay? Because my thing is, if Josh really figured all of this shit out about Paul's game right now, how come he didn't figure all of this shit out a month ago? How come he didn't figure all of this shit out when Paul first walked into the house? It's because he probably already knew all these things but would never voice them because he needed Paul. Like, I was thinking about this the other day. If you take Paul out of this season and you let Christmas go home with that fucked up leg, y'all do know Josh is a pre-jury boot, right? Guaranteed, 100%. There is no one that's going to decline that as being factual, okay? So the fact that you need a vet and someone who fluky came back into the house to make jury, you definitely shouldn't be on anyone's radar to deserve to win the game. You are a circumstantial game player, in my opinion. They should have took away the pots and pans right after the Mark situation. You feel me? They should have took that shit away right after that, but they kept it around just in case, And it just really sickens me, man. But all in all, the 7 psychopaths, one of them is going to be gone on Thursday, and that will be Jason because Paul won veto, and Paul has decided to use the veto on Alex, of course. So now it's Kevin sitting next to Jason. The young man's game is back together on the block, and they're pretty much well. Kevin's defeated, and Jason is feeling himself. And Jason, he needs to be the one that's defeated. So, like I'm telling y'all, if I'm Jason, I am gonna constantly talk Kevin into quitting because at the end of the day, Kevin quits, keeps me in the game, and at least gives me a chance to compete for HOH. They're not gonna keep you, Jason. And what's even funnier is I could definitely see the next HOH, right? Because Paul doesn't want to win it. But I've already told y'all it would make sense for him to win Final 6 HOH. I think Paul is going to fuck around. I think he's going to throw the next one as well. But the next one is very important because so Jason's gone. So now it's Kevin, Raven, Paul, Josh, Christmas, Kevin, Raven, Josh, Paul, Christmas. Who else is left in this bit? Damn, that's it? Kevin, Raven, Josh, Paul, Chris. Yeah, I guess that is the only one fuckers left in it. If I'm leaving somebody out, that's crazy. Yeah, I think that's everybody, though. Oh, and Alex. There we go. 6. Alex. So my thing is, he will want Alex to win this HOH, Paul, because I think he wants Alex to knock out one of Christmas or Josh. I think he legit wants that. But see, here's the thing is, that goes against my Final 4 prediction. So I don't think that's going to really happen, ladies and gentlemen. If Alex is smart, Alex has to win this next HOH to stay in the house. Basically, she has to win this next HOH. Either the next HOH or next veto. But I just don't see Josh winning a HOH over her, and I don't see Paul winning one over her because I think he'd prefer for her to win one to get that blood on her hands. So it's basically the only people who have a true shot of winning this is Kevin, Josh, and Alex. Kevin, Josh, and Alex going into this next HOH. And it really is going to come down to how badly the 3 of them want it. But I have a feeling it's going to be another Christmas comp. Who knows? But this season is just so fucking toxic, man. I've been talking to so many people about this season. Shout out to my brother, Johnny Beertech. I was talking to him about this season. He hates this season. No one really likes this season at all. But with this AFP voting shit, let me just close out this argument by saying this to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Please do not vote for Kevin just because he's an older man. Vote for Kevin because he deserves the money, because he wouldn't have the money otherwise. When you really look back on this season, are you going to really feel okay with Kevin walking out of it with damn near 60,000? Like, I want y'all to look at it that way, okay? Because remember, Cody made jury, so he has 8. He would have the same amount of money as Kevin when the game is over if we reward him with AFP. But if we just reward Kevin, that means Cody, the one guy who actually had the stones to go against Paul, you mean to tell me he only gets 8,000 for all the shit he went through? And you mean to tell me this pussy-ass shit that Kevin's gone through, which has been really tame, by the way, compared to the shit that Cody went through. This has been pretty tame, all right? I'm just being honest. It's pretty fucking tame, especially the shit Dom went through. This is tame, okay? If you guys really believe that Kevin deserves 60K to Cody's 8K, go and vote for Kevin. But if you have a brain And if you really want to see Paul pissed, because of how he's also treated Kevin, it's a no-brainer. Throw your fucking vote to Cody. Let Cody get out of this game with 33K just like Kevin got. And let's see Paul's face on finale night. It's that simple. It's that simple. Why are we voting for Kevin for? Do you know how much pettiness would go down online if Cody won this shit? Do y'all know how crazy shit would get? And with no OTT2, we need this shit. Okay, we need some drama. Okay, so I'm just saying, Kevin is the last motherfucker we all need to be coming to a consensus to vote for. He's not gonna piss on nobody if he wins. Okay, and y'all know me, I'm still voting for Dom. But I'm just saying, if you're gonna vote for Kevin, you're really just voting for someone who was mistreated by Paul. And if that is your number one reasoning for voting for anyone, you gotta go right to Cody. You know, because I know y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna really go to Dom. I know y'all will at least contemplate going to Cody because it can actually make an impact here. But we don't know how the casual voters are going to vote. That's the biggest part about and we don't know if Big Brother's going to rig this as well. Let me not rule that out and all of a sudden think they're going to have integrity when it comes to a favorite player. Because I'm telling y'all right now, if Cody does win it, but they somehow rig that shit to go to somebody else just to make Paul feel better. Like, and see, that's the thing. Y'all want Josh to snake Paul out and win the game. Y'all do know if Josh wins that, y'all do know if Josh wins the game, y'all do know Paul is most likely going to win favorite player. And that's going to leave a huge stain on the entire season. You know, more of a stain than if Paul won the season. Because if he won the season, it's like, all right, this was just another Derek season. Who gives a fuck? Move on, right? But if Paul loses the season, wins AFP, we're like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? It's like, not only do we have a shitty winner, but we have a shitty AFP winner, and we have a shitty season. That's a trifecta of shit. Like, for real, though. But yeah, man, so, yeah, I mean, shit, that's all for my notes for the most part, but that's just how weird, that's how weak this season, I mean, this week has been. This is how weak the week has been. You know, there's nothing to talk about. We know who's going home. Now, let's get into predictions. Next week, I've kind of spoke on this already a little bit, but next week, I strongly see Alex win. I see her putting Kevin up on the block, and I see Josh and Christmas all assuming that Kevin's going home. I could definitely see a variation of Kevin and Raven to start off the week, just so Alex can cover her bases socially. And then, depending on how the veto goes down, most likely Paul will win it because he just wants control all over it. I don't even understand these veto wins by Paul. You know, if you know you got motherfuckers by the balls and you know they're never going to turn on you, why do you want the power of the veto just to have more? I don't know, man. It's like sometimes I think, man, Paul, he really is just, you know, Dr. Will and these folks. And then other moments I'm like, this man, he got too much showboat in his blood. He just got way too much showboat in his blood. But all in all, man, I hope you all have enjoyed yourself. This is Recency Bias Radio, where no one is safe from criticism. I would love to discuss some more topics with you, but there's not really much more to discuss I can think of. But yeah, you know, it's fucked up. You know, Jason, you stood on your two toes last week, and you did what you needed to do to have your true ride or dies back, and that I'll applaud you for. But in this game, when you start to show signs of being an alpha male, you get targeted. This is the season where alpha males, they don't have a good time, you know? And Jason, don't get it twisted. I don't think you're an alpha male and by any means. You're a fucking rodeo clown, for crying out loud. If you was really an alpha male, you'd be the one riding the bull. But yeah, though. But all in all, though, man, this is just a sad season, man. So if you guys could, I would like you to comment below. Who do you all think winning this season and winning AFP together? I want you guys to put your combinations together. What is the perfect combination of winner of the season and AFP that will satisfy the most people? Also, I would like to see which combination will satisfy you the most. So if you guys could comment below and give me that answer, I will truly appreciate it. But this has been the 16th rant of Recency Bias Radio, the 7 Psychopaths. All these motherfuckers is crazy, okay? All these motherfuckers deserve to be in an asylum, okay? The double eviction is coming up. I have not discussed this yet. The double eviction is coming up. So, damn. Yeah, he's got to let Alex win his double eviction, don't he? No, he could let. See, everyone thinks this double eviction will be the moment for Josh to win HOH so he can turn on Paul. I think it's too early for that shit. I don't think Josh has the cojones, because if you think about it, Josh is with Christmas. If he turns on Paul right here, that forces Christmas to turn on Josh too. She will be completely like just lambasted and confused by why Josh is backdooring Paul here. They will probably vote to keep Paul, which will probably send somebody home. Who would Josh put up next to Paul? Would he put up Alex to guarantee Paul can't win veto? That would be smart. But if you're gonna backdoor him, then you would have to put up probably Alex and Raven, some variation of that to guarantee someone wins it and has to pull themselves off. You need to do it in a way that guarantees that, but because we know at Christmas she's not competing in no fucking double eviction competitions unless that shit is A and B true false. And that's what I really see happening this Thursday. I think it's gonna be A and B true false. We're coming back to it. Y'all know how these doubles go. They can't afford to do all this extra shit unless it's time for the veto ceremony. You run back and forth and stuff. But yeah, so this Thursday, I think, call me crazy, I think Jason's gone and I think Alex is gone. I think my final four is going to stay intact here. I don't think it makes sense for anyone's game to knock out a guy like Kevin who's already contemplating self-evicting. That's a guy you keep around, okay? Because he's going to have those thoughts of self-evicting later, right? Just keep him around, okay? So you knock out Jason. Then after you knock out Jason, you take Alex out, blindside her. Because think about it. Raven wants Alex gone. I'm talking like once Jason's gone. Raven's going to want her gone because Raven has had this beef with her from the start. I mean, Raven was the one who took her fucking little rabbit ears and shit. So she's going to want her gone just off of pure vendetta and the fact Matt went home because of Jason, who's directly aligned to her. So she probably thinks Alex played some role in that. So Raven's going to want her gone. If Josh is HOH, it's going to benefit his game to make sure she's gone as well, to make sure him and Christmas are guaranteed final three with Paul. And if not him and Christmas, it's at least him and Raven. If Kevin is on the block, he can't really make a difference in this vote. But I definitely see Raven voting Alex out. I see Christmas voting Alex out because she was targeting Alex and or Jason this week. So she will want her gone as well. And it's really going to come down to Paul here. Because I believe, well, actually, it doesn't come down to Paul at all, because in the final six scenario, only 3 people vote. So even if Paul wants to keep Alex, he can't, because Christmas and Raven will want her gone. So it's really going to come down to, are Christmas and Raven dumb enough to listen to Paul and make it a 3-0 vote to knock out Kevin over Alex? I think that's going to be the dilemma going into the double eviction this Thursday. I hope you guys have enjoyed the prediction. And this has been the 16th rant. I don't want this to go over an hour. It looks like it's close to about 50 minutes in the motherfucker. But y'all be smooth. Y'all enjoy the rest of your week. I will be back at y'all this Sunday. I'm not going to do y'all like that again for another Sunday. NFL regular season starts this Sunday as well. So hopefully I get to watch my Dallas Cowboys get it in. But other than that, I ain't got many things to say, man. I will see you guys for the next one, man. Thank you very much for supporting Recency Bias Radio. If you could, please like, share, comment, subscribe, the whole 9. And we'll be back at you on the flip side. All right, man. Y'all be smooth. Deuces.